Hey, friends.
Hey.
Hey.
So I know how last episode we accidentally showed up in our emo era.
Yeah.
Now we're in our black sweatshirt and green hat era.
We just keep accidentally matching.
like, yo, this wasn't planned. My hat's a little cuter because it's giving kitty cat Shreky mama, but
Sorry, let
whatever.
Kitty cat. Yeah. Where'd you get that? Or did you stitch that?
My friend made it for me.
Aw, I really do think crocheting is so cool. I really want to learn. I don't think I'd be particularly good at it. Because I'm not very good with my hands like that. But I just think being able to crochet.
She's not a lesbian. She doesn't need to use her hand.
No, I'm bisexual, and I'm a pillow. I mean, I'm not I can go off in the bed, but I'm definitely one that I like to be. Anyway, we don't need to be going on all this. Point is, I think crocheting is sweet and cute, and I wish I could do it because hand making people gifts like that. My mom just knitted me an entire blanket. I bought her all the yarn because she's like, I'm knitting blankets for our distant families having babies and blah blah blah, and she's like, I'm knitting blankets for them. I'm like, I'm your baby, I want a knitted blanket. And so I bought a bunch of yarn, sent it to her house, and she finished it, and it's the best. I love it. Yeah, no, mine is just a New York hat, which
I'm just the best. I love it. Mine is just.
Well, we talked about your hat. Can I not talk about mine?
No, you just jump from topic to topic. I'm like, you didn't even finish your sentence. You love a knitted blanket. Now
I love just a crocheted and knitted anything good that you can give someone. A handmade anything is sweet. Speaking of, for Christmas.
Now I would love to hear about your hat.
Yeah, my hat is not as sweet and cute and whatever. I just bought this as a little gift from my little New York trip, and I'm back from New York. I literally love New York. It's funny because we went in 2019 with our family.
So long ago.
And it was everything. And I just remember loving it. New York is just one of those cities where you step in it and it's it really is all the movies and the shows and and it was cool going with Josh because my boyfriend it was his first time, and to see his reaction to everything, I'm yeah, it is really how you would think. But I just remember that was so long ago. That was 2019, and my friend Lily went last year, and I remember texting her being how's New York? Oh my gosh, it's so fun. What are you guys doing there? And Lily was just it's loud and stinky, and she just did not really like the vibe.
So, that's the vibe that
and
I
yeah,
go
right.
experience.
But then I was oh my god, wait, I had it second guessing myself. I was did I just like it because it was the vibe, the first time, whatever? But going back, no, I still love it. Josh and I had so much fun. It is the fucking best. I love New York. If it wasn't so fucking expensive, I'd love to live near. I don't think I'd want to live in New York. Obviously, it's not I with ASMR shit. There's no fucking way. But being able to live in New Jersey or something and take the train in to the city. I just love having easier access to that city is so cool. It's just, and getting weed there was literally the easiest it's ever been in the United States. I've gotten weed in many it was hard to find because you can't go on Google and find I have Weed Maps, which is an app when we're in states where it's legal. It shows you dispensaries, delivery.
You can't Google where it is.
On Weed Maps there's nothing. On Google on Googling dispensary near me, it'll bring touristy CBD shops, but a lot of the reviews are this place doesn't even sell good shit or super overpriced. You literally, the way we found New York, and we didn't know this going there because the first time we were there I was with my family and I wasn't smoking at the time, but we were we got there and we were trying to find some stuff and we were just walking around and we found one on Yelp that had good reviews that said it was open. We got directions there. It was nowhere to be fucking found, seriously.
Yeah.
So we just start walking the streets and I'm think all hope is lost. This is our second night there. I think all hope is lost, and then all of a sudden I just see a place called Get Green or something, and I see a green neon light, and I'm it's a convenience store on the side of the road, and I'm oh my god, let's just go see. We go in, they had literally every fucking thing, and that's when I realized any convenience store with a little weed LED sign in the window, just go in there, they'll have it. They have it all. All the top brands and everything. I was just oh my, and so that's when we realized oh, they just don't put themselves on Google and shit. I think because they're just they don't advertise that that's what they're selling in there. But most of the convenience stores then we just got to sell you anyway. But that's not why I love it so much. It was just that is a cool aspect. But also getting food is so easy. Josh and I are big public transportation people. We do it all the time in Salt Lake when we go out, and so Josh loved that. The subway was annoying because there was a bunch of lines that when we went, there were a bunch of lines that weren't working on weekends or nights because they were doing stuff
I just
on them.
remember when we went, I struggled so hard to swipe my Subway pass.
Now you just use your phone.
Oh,
your Apple Pay.
See, it's slay,
and it automatically just
yeah, that would be so
does it for
easier.
you. You just tap every time you get on and off, and then at the end of the day, it calculates how much you actually should pay, and it just charges it for you. It was you don't even have to get a Metro card.
Yeah, damn.
I know, it was so easy.
Upgrade.
So, but when we didn't take the subway, we would just take the buses, and the buses were so fucking nice. And since everyone's taking the subway, no one was on those buses. And so they were just like these big ass bougie buses, and we would just basically felt like we got like a private like shuttle like down the street to like go somewhere. But I love New York, and I think for me, I'm a really anxious person, and being in New York where there's so many people, it actually helps my anxiety so much. I'm so invisible. I feel like here, it's like, crazy having a tattoo. You walk in Target and you have like 4 Mormon soccer moms like looking at you weird.
Well,
like
that's the thing too. Is like now I kind of moved a little bit out of the city. So like my Walmart and my Target's not in
that's
the
yes.
city
Now that I live in Salt Lake, it's different.
But it's
but
like
just the Utah culture in general.
But I miss like even just being downtown, being like, okay, there's always like 8 people that are like the weirder people than me. Yeah. Whereas like then it's like I'm at the store and I'm the one everyone's looking at because I got bleach eyebrows.
No, exactly.
I was like, why are you looking at me? Not like this fucking crackhead screaming, doing insane shit. But I like that. Like that's my thing about
I like the invisibility.
Salt Lake is I want to be in a bigger city. I like the big city. Like I can also just like wear whatever the fuck I want to wear. Like I want to go to New York again for like not to do touristy stuff. I want to like go wear cute outfits like and like go just fucking,
the food is amazing.
Yeah, but I want to go for the fashion scene.
Go
mainly.
shopping.
Yeah, but it's just like I just want to go to New York and just like wear whatever the fuck I want to wear and no one even bats a fucking eye. Like everyone's like, oh, that's normal.
Oh my god, it was iconic. So we stayed at the Millennium Premiere in Times Square. It was great. We booked it through Airbnb, but just because it was like a good deal or whatever. Fuck Airbnbs, by the way. I'm never staying in an Airbnb again. At this point, Airbnbs charge like double a hotel, but you have to pay cleaning fees. There's not a kitchen. They don't do your fucking like. I've had so many bad Airbnb experiences. I'm just like, it's sad because Airbnb.
It used to be the girl.
It used to like have the potential to fuck up the hotel industry, but instead, it fucked up the real estate industry. Like it actually did what it was supposed to. It was supposed to like fuck up hotels, so hotels would stop charging so much and you could just rent out like your little place for get a good deal. And I feel like in the beginning of Airbnb it was like you could get such a good deal on a really good place, but now everyone just buys little real estate properties, turns them into Airbnbs, and now there's not enough fucking housing. Affordable housing. And then everyone's like, affordable housing, we're building it. And affordable housing is still $2,000 a month in rent.
No, yeah, literally.
Affordable where? Cricket.
No, dead ass.
But anyway, so I hate Airbnbs. So, but we just booked it through Airbnb, but you can book it through online. But anyway, my dad got in Josh's head a little bit and he was like, just make sure like you're good. Like if you booked it through Airbnb. And I knew it would be fine because it was like a verified Airbnb listing, you know, it had a bunch of reviews. But so Josh was like trying to call. He's like, I just want to call and make sure before we get there. I want to call you. Like your dad got me like worried. I want to make sure. So he tried to call, but they didn't answer. And then he sent a message on the Airbnb, whatever. It was like, just want to verify that we're good to check in tomorrow, like the day before we left. And we got a message back being like, yeah, you're all good. Just let me know if you need anything else. Daniel. And so Josh and I love to do this where when like we get like a random name, we'll just like associate it with everything. So on the way there, we were like, okay, we're on our way to see Daniel. Like we're going to go see Daniel. And then we were like outside the hotel walking from the bus. And we're like, wonder if Daniel's there. And we walk up to the front desk and it's a man and he has this gorgeous, he's a redhead and he has gorgeous long beard and it's filled with like orange and yellow butterflies and he has like full on fake lashes and like
this was Daniel
and the name tag was Daniel.
Damn.
And I was like, oh my god, I love like your makeup. He complimented my tattoos, but it was Daniel. I was like, I didn't confirm, but it was
like,
and
obviously.
But yeah, you brought up like what people wear, but I just think about Daniel, like just the fact that he was just some guy at work, like at his front desk office job with full on butterflies in his beard, like it was a full on drag race challenge. Like it was gorgeous. I know. It was iconic. And there was so much cool fall fashion when we were there. It was really cool to see. I had my little Met moment on the steps. I met a subscriber on the Met steps while I was living my Regina George fantasy, and she literally walked up and was like, spotted.
You were living your Regina George fantasy.
Blair Waldorf.
I was like,
sorry, I'm in Mean Girls mode.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, I was living my Blair Waldorf fantasy on the Met steps, and a subscriber walked up to me. Hi, Sarah, if you're watching this.
Hey, Sarah.
It was so cute. And then the second she left, I started crying because I was just like, oh my God. I always meet subscribers at the coolest places. Chipotle.
Literally, I'm like,
working at Chipotle.
Number one.
She was my cashier at Chipotle. It was one that I met in the crowd at SZA, at a SZA concert, and now on the Met steps. 3 great places to meet a subscriber.
The worker once at the movie theater was like, "Are you Haley's brother?" And I was like, "Yeah."
That is hilarious. I forgot about that. When was that?
A long time ago.
It was funny because Sarah was like, I actually recognize Josh. Like, that's how I saw Josh. I was like, where's Haley? Like, Haley has to be here. And Josh, I was like, oh my God, Josh.
Nice.
But yeah, anyway, long story short, just to, catch up. I love New York. DC, we went for the first time and it was cool. Like, the museums were really cool and stuff. But the actual, like, city, it was kind of hard to navigate. It was a lot of walking. I was just fucking exhausted by the end of it. But I love New York. But that's it.
You're a native New Yorker.
And because 1989 Taylor's version came out like right before we went, that was my whole entire soundtrack while I was there, and it was perfect.
See, and I would be like, no Taylor Swift.
And that's you.
Like, comment if you're over Taylor Swift or now. Not that I hate her.
Hey,
not
to
that
help
I'm
the
against
algorithm,
her,
comment.
but I'm just like, can we just like not hear from her for like a
I get
year?
it. Yeah, it's definitely like overexposure
Just give me
effect.
like one fucking year about like not hearing her name once.
Well, like I'm a Swiftie, so I don't care. But I obviously looking from the outside in. Yeah, it's overexposure for sure. I just think the Travis Kelce thing is just like, who fucking cares? Seriously, they kiss in the backstage. Like they kiss behind the scenes like after a concert, and I see grown men screaming on TikTok, and I'm just like, can we get a hobby, baby?
Yeah.
He's just another white man she's dating. I don't know if it's me, but I've literally never given more than 2 shits about anyone she's dated other than Harry Styles, and that's because he's Harry fucking Styles. But everyone else, like, who fucking cares about Joe Alwyn? Who cares about Travis Kelce? I literally don't. I don't care about football. Good for, like, I don't care. If she's happy, like, good for her, but, like, I'm here for the music. I don't give a fuck.
See, and I'm just like, literally, I watched this girl, and she literally posted, like, when they, like, that video of them kissing or whatever, she literally went into her bathroom, posted a picture, and put, of her being like, and then, like, literally was like, when you see that kiss or something. And I was like, girl, you literally, like, spent, like, a solid, like, 5 minutes.
That's what I'm saying.
About this.
Over her kissing her boyfriend.
Like, be like, oh, cute.
For me, I'm like, when she releases a new album, like, post on my story. But, like, the last thing you're going to see me doing is, like losing my mind over Travis Kelce.
Unless it's like Kylie Jenner and Timothee Chalamet, then I'm like,
literally, because I'm like, I tweeted
I'm
about
like,
that.
It's Kylie Jenner and Timothee Chalamet. Like,
I
that's
tweeted.
Why it's different.
I literally tweeted and was like, "This is the biggest news of my life. Like, I've never wanted a threesome so bad.
I literally
never.
Like, I need more content. Like, let's see him.
Yeah, me too. Honestly,
I'll never be on Keeping Up with the Kardashians because Kylie keeps her her life like hush,
which I love.
But also,
I love that.
Girl, give us the drama. Like, I want to hear if Travis.
I just
want to
be a fly on the wall. I don't think he is. I
don't know.
I mean, he's probably not a great guy, like, in general, but I think he's a good dad.
Well, I'm like, but did he cheat on her?
Oh, don't they all?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, every famous man, like, every famous athlete, every famous rapper, like, it feels like most of them, if not all. Obviously, we don't know the ins and outs, but either way, I feel like they're still on good terms because, I mean, you saw what he was saying in Utopia. I think she definitely was like, bye. I know. Tell me, is you still love? It's 5 a.m. and I'm drunk right now. Tell me, can we still fuck? Yeah, I think he's in his feelings a little bit, but I kind of like that they leave it all fine. I guess it's just like, I would much rather have them keep all their shit off the show than like them keep forcing us to deal with Tristan and like every person be like, Tristan's such a good guy. Tristan's a great guy. Like, force feeding us like he has to stay at my house as if he can't buy a hotel room, as if y'all aren't rich and he can't buy him a hotel room. He's a grown ass man, a millionaire.
Played for the fucking NBA. Like,
go buy a hotel room. If you like, that's the thing. I just can't deal with Chloe being like, I don't want him here. Like, when are you leaving? Like,
when are you
girl,
leaving?
shut up. You
probs be fucking. Like,
no, and you know what? And I don't care either way. I don't care about that. I'm just like, keep it keep it off. I literally do not care about Tristan Thompson. Why is he a show on this? Why is he a storyline on the show?
Yeah, why is he like?
I would rather watch Kendall Jenner give Kylie more driving lessons than watch Kris Jenner try and shove.
But see, that's my issue. Is like, I don't really care that much to just see Kendall and Kylie pop in.
Right? No, and I agree too. But like, I'm saying I would prefer that bullshit.
Like Kim Kardashian taking us on like
I'm
her
just
actual
saying,
like work. And,
I
like,
would prefer that bullshit over the Tristan Thompson content. Is what I'm saying.
Well, my life has just been school. My semester ends in 3 weeks, and I just can't fucking wait for it to end and just to be able to enjoy the holidays and then start a new semester.
Yeah.
And the Hunger Games
that winter
movie.
break. Yeah, today we're talking about the Hunger Games movie.
The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. We both just saw it.
I was supposed to read the book before,
I read the
And
book.
you did, so that's good. You can give the comparisons, but time slipped away from me. I'm still gonna read it at some point for sure because you'll see one of my big like thoughts about the movie. I still definitely want to read it, but I was like, okay, it came out, and I knew you want to talk about it on the pod, so I got tickets ASAP.
So we're already talking about spoilers. So if you don't want,
there'll be timestamps on YouTube in the description box. You can skip.
Don't want the spoilers, but I'm like, just go watch it. Like, whatever.
Go watch it and come back.
But so I read it like a year and like probably like 5-6 months ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And not 5-6 months, probably like a year and like 3 months ago. But
Uh-huh.
I don't really remember like specifics about the book specifically, but I would say overall the book to movie adaptation was pretty similar. Like the story was the same. Like
that is what I expected because
all the other ones
are
too.
great. Yeah. So I expected that going in.
It was just like certain details weren't the same, but my big bone to pick with it was that there's so much content in the book. So even with it being like a 2-hour 40-minute movie, it was like, how do you fit all of this in? And I think that there's 3 parts to it: the beginning, the middle, like the end. They're like,
and even the book is split in 3 parts.
Yes, it's the same thing. It's like the same story.
What is it
like,
called? Part 1
is like mentor.
The
part
mentor.
2,
part 2,
the prize, and part 3 is
the peacemaker.
And
Peacekeeper.
Yeah, whatever. Peacemaker. Yeah, there's no fucking
maker
peacemaker.
thing.
The pacemaker.
And that was my biggest critique of it too.
Was part 3 was long, and part 1 was so fast.
short.
And it was like I feel like from like I would literally went in and like watching it, and it's like 10 minutes in. I'm like, we're literally through half the book. Not actually, but like I was literally, this movie's gonna suck, because I was like, bam, bam, this happened, and like there's like this girl who dies in the beginning, and like there's like all of these events that happen in the beginning, and it's like you really got to know these characters. Also, Sejanus and Snow, like 2 like the main characters, you get to hear more about their relationship.
Is Sejanus the brother friend, the like friend that he rats out? Yes. Okay, literally, I sent you all of my notes. They're literally all of these points, pretty much like worded a little differently.
It just was like we got so much more content in the book. Like it, like the beginning was so rushed that it just like flew past these things. So it's like when this girl, Arachne Crane, which is also Seneca Crane, like they're related, they got the same last name.
Yeah, never even. None of the other tributes were memorable. I didn't care or know any of them.
Or like Clementia, she's the one that like helps him with their like letter. Like they were like, there's
no idea who that is.
They were really, I'm pretty sure they cut like a whole entire character out too.
I'm sure they did. And that was my thing. Was my biggest critique as someone that didn't read the book was I could tell that they're like, I know. First of all, can we start off by saying actually that fucking props to Suzanne Collins, okay?
Yes.
Props to Suzanne Collins and her fucking mega mind. Holy shit, this series is amazing. The characters are amazing, and the tiebacks, even just from the movie, what I can understand without having read the books, like the tiebacks and the thoughts between the parallels of snow is falling, snow lands on top, but then fire is catching and fire melts snow. Mm-hmm. The way that the songs, Lucy's songs tie to Katniss when they're by the hanging tree, and she's like, it's too early for Katniss to grow, like for Katniss right now. She's talking about the plant.
When Snow sneaks in the arena and he literally looks right at like the bow and arrow that's
sitting there unused. Yes.
Yeah, it's all
the last line of the movie.
Well, and then it's like Arachne Crane, like that's Seneca Crane's like, I guess probably
great grandma something.
And like they say Heavensby, which is like Plutarch Heavensby, the game maker. Like you hear the names of the last names of these like rich families that have like been there. So it's like it was really cool.
So all the tiebacks I'm sure are great, and I'm sure the book is great. But for the movie, for me, my biggest critique was basically what you said. I think it should have been a 2-part. How did we get Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2, but this is not a 2-part?
Because Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2 was like, okay, girl, this is a long, like, do we really have
because,
this much content?
And I agree that Part 1 was the most rushed, and they spent too much time on Part 3 because Part 1, I feel like, is where you need to establish...
Slow it down and get to know these people.
I didn't know who the fuck... I'm going to be honest. Lucy Gray, I had to, like, literally sleep on it. Because, like, from the second she opened her mouth, I was like... Oh, absolutely. I
just didn't
deal.
like that they gave her this weird country
accent. What was
accent.
that, babe? What was that accent?
I didn't mind her that much. I just think the country accent was really
for
where I was
me,
like,
the country accent. But when she gets picked at the reaping, she is the most like Gleek theater kid. The way she's like, okay, boys, Like she acts like she doesn't care. She's also in here's for me. She's in District 12, but she has this most gorgeous hand beaded dress.
Well,
and then
that's
she's
the
like,
whole part of it.
Yeah, and she says it's her mom's. That's all that we get in the movie. And I'm saying I know it was explored more, but for me, I'm like, why do you have this gorgeous ensemble in the poorest thing? Why are you when she started just singing? And I get she can sing, and I get the music needs to tie, but it just the reaping scene. She came off so intense right away that I instantly was like, she gave me the ick. I cannot lie. She gave me the full ick. And it sucked because I went and I watched interviews of Rachel Zegler before, doing promo, and Rachel Zegler seems so knowledgeable about the series and their chemistry off in like interviews between Tom and what was her name?
Well, you know that she's like been dating Sejanus like in real life for like ever.
Who? Oh, the other guy. I didn't know that.
No, they've been dating forever. I think
Really?
they're like on like Broadway together.
But I mean, like the guy that played Snow, they had a lot of chemistry in their interviews together. And honestly, so thinking back, I think Lucy Gray is a fine character, and I think she played her as well as she could have.
Well, and that's
but
also
I think the
kind of
problem
how she
was
is in the book. Like she's kind of like
right. Yes,
because I was nervous originally when it was coming out because I was like, is Rachel Zegler as like kind of like bad bitch snarky as Lucy Gray was in the book?
No, I don't think she is.
And that's where
it landed a little bit more like none of the words you were saying anyone would say in a sentence.
Well, and that's the other thing is in the beginning.
Like I get it's
like
a country accent, but like being like she would watch someone die, and I feel like she would literally be like, "Well, butter on a corn stick." Like it. I was like, where. And I feel like that is because part one is so short, we get no backstory on her. And when she does talk, the lines, like the stuff she says is in her little like slang, of her people and the singers.
Like, they're also
but we
like
don't,
one-liners. Like
it's one-liners.
You're not getting like
anything about
dialogue.
her.
You're getting one-liners.
And that's what I said in my note. She can sing, and the singing is gorgeous. We obviously know Rachel Zegler can sing. And the songs, like when she's saying "Are You," that first "Are You," I was like, oh my god, is Katniss here? Like it literally like gave me chills a little bit. But when she's like on the reaping stand, just sing that whole thing, "Kiss my ass," I literally busted out laughing with the "Kiss my ass." I could not
I don't
do
mind
it. No, it was
I
so
didn't mind
cringy.
any of the singing except for when she was singing when she was in his lap, like, and they're after, and she's like singing like I don't know about herself to
No,
him.
she was
That part was
insufferable
weird.
at the beginning. It was actually painful to watch. But then by the end of it, and I get she like goes through the games, but again, we do not see this. I did not see her go through any emotional turmoil in the games, like character growth to where it's like by the end of the movie, when they're like in the field together, even before she decides she's gonna like run away or die or wherever she goes by the end, even before when they're talking, she's all, "Oh, yeah, we go back down by the water." Like so shy and soft and timid at the last half of the movie. And it's like that whole, okay, boys, like that attitude was gone in the games. Where was it? It was nowhere to be found. There was all bark, no bite when she gets in the games. And it's like, I can understand why going through that would maybe change but we didn't explore that. So my point was, this should have been a two-parter. Act one, where we learn about the characters and we also see their relationship form. Sorry. No chemistry, in my opinion, on camp because we didn't get enough of them before.
Because that's the thing is, like, it was literally
before she goes in the games. Like we did not get enough
into like, and also like this thing is like it's a big thing in the beginning or in the book. Like originally she's like, I don't really like whatever this mentor guy, and then eventually like learns to like him, and then their like relationship grows where it's like
that
now
didn't really happen.
She's just trying to kiss him, and you're like, what?
Yeah, it just came out of nowhere. Like when it went from okay friends where I'm not sure about you, can I trust you, like that dynamic that they had initially when he gives her the rose and she's like, I'm not even going to talk about the biting the rose. I know it was in the book, but like Katniss would have, like, I'm sorry, it just I just can't. There's like nothing I can say about that scene, honestly. Like there's nothing. When you said it was in the book, like I know it is, but I know Suzanne Collins did not write it that way. I know like the way it goes over in the book is probably much better. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was Rachel Zegler. I don't think it was Lucy Gray as a character that I didn't like. I think what I realized is I did not get enough. I didn't learn enough about her and her, like, I didn't learn enough about what is her, like, where she comes from, like, all the singers. What are they called?
Covey.
The Covey.
Well, that's what I was saying about the dresses.
What?
They do.
Yeah,
they
talk about the dress. There's literally primroses on the dress. Yeah, they say that in passing, yes, but, like, that's not enough for me to, like, love this character.
And that's the thing, too, is, like...
To be like, this is the character that inspired everything. Like, that, you did not explore her enough. And I get she's supposed to be a mystery at the end. Like, what happens to her is a ghost story. Like the song about her.
And I guess I just can't have that same critique because I already had a connection with her because I read
the book.
First.
And that's what I'm saying.
Like, I got into this like when I'm like,
yes,
Sejanus is like my favorite character. And like the whole story with him and Marcus, the guy from his District 2, is like a lot bigger of a deal too. And
yeah,
like,
were they in love? Were they in love?
I don't think so.
Like what? Oh, I was thinking like maybe there was gonna be like a little gay side character story, but in like the book, but they didn't explore it.
I
But
don't think.
oh, anyway,
But it
either
was
way.
just like his classmate.
But yes, exactly,
and
and that's why I'm like it should have been 2 parts because they did not explore all the relationships, even the betrayal of Snow, like getting him killed at the end, like didn't punch as hard
because it was so rushed.
because it was rough. Because yeah, and I think for like what they were given, I think it was a great movie. The director's amazing. The fashion, the styling was gorgeous. The
You know what
looks,
was
the casting is
really-
amazing. Flickerman.
No, the cast was perfectly amazing, except the bitch who played Coral in the games. I said, why is this Starbucks barista TikTok baddie killing everybody
I'm gonna say some.
with the earrings, like, and their
Mhm.
styling of the Coral? It's like the main girl, the redhead with the
With the
pixie
short
cut.
hair.
It just like it took me out of it because it's like
Why? How she was the leader, the ringleader.
well, not even that she was the ringleader. It was like her styling.
She
with,
was
like,
the only other
everything.
tribute that talked, besides the one that came in with her, the guy.
Well, and then the one that like puts the whole flag on. I'm pretty sure in the book
Oh,
that
yes, yes,
he's
yes.
like the big one to beat.
Mhm.
Like he's the one that it's like no one's gonna beat him.
Right, and that's what I mean. For the movie, I just feel like we didn't get to. So I think it should have been part 1 movie through the games. That was movie 1, and then part 2 is like post games when Snow decides to leave and then go with her, and then she figures it out, and then he goes crazy, and like it's literally like it should have been
and like
a 2-part
Clementia,
movie.
that's the girl who's like the partner with Snow, and like she like is the
Oh,
one that
the
gets bit by
friend?
the snakes.
Yes.
She's insufferable in the fucking movie, and I'm pretty sure in the books like she was. I do not remember her being like that,
Mm.
and like the whole like where she's like, I'll read it. Like I was the one that wrote it. Like I'm pretty sure like Snow was literally like, no, like don't worry, like I put your name in this. Like I like really am like gonna give you credit for this, and like he did it, but like he was like it wasn't like she was like.
It was less about her wanting to take it and more like he
Yeah,
was
I'm
actually
pretty sure
helping
it was
her.
like he was, and they were also. It wasn't her being like, since we're class partners, I'll write it with you. Like they literally were all shouting out ideas, and she was like, "You guys come up with a write up."
Yeah,
and
but
he was a part of that.
They're
Like,
not going to give him this close girl bestie because then that might confuse the romance storylines because they didn't really give us any romance between the other two either. And we were just supposed to believe that they were in love. You know what I mean? So he has to make her. He can't possibly be friends with another woman.
yeah, which I feel like also though,
Which is
like
silly.
I would say like it was still like a good movie. The
was
book is
good.
definitely a lot.
I gave the
better.
movie a 3.5.
I would say like I'd give it like a 4 out of 5. I think that like also,
Yeah, I could round up to like a 3.7.
the filming was done very well.
I think it's the same director, so I
Well,
expected.
but it felt a little different though. Like it was the same director, but you could tell it's aged because it's like
Yeah.
the filming style is a little different. What the
Yeah.
funniest part was
Yeah.
for me was
It's a little more
fucking the
updated.
Hunter Schafer, Tom Blythe FaceTime with the fisheye lens. Jackie and I could not stop fucking laughing every time
Okay.
it popped to Hunter Schafer and she's like fisheye like
Can you explain
choreo.
to me her Tigress's character from the book in like 5 words? Tigress's character.
I don't know, like 5 words. Like
Can you like describe to me how she acts, what she's like how you would describe her?
well, she is. I feel like she kind of plays like the same role where it's like she's like. Basically, she like grips the family, like she like is trying to help Snow. Basically.
Yes, I know.
With
I
the
understand.
clothes
Yes,
and everything, but she is.
but what's
like,
her personality?
Like I don't.
Because just in my opinion, and I haven't read the book, so I don't know. It was forgettable. Effie Trinket outsold in every way, and I just
But
think
she's not.
But that's what I'm
giving
saying.
That. That's not what
what-
Tigress ever
and,
was.
And that's exactly why I asked you to give me 5 adjectives before, so you wouldn't attack me. Because if Tigress is this soft-spoken, quiet, gentle character, then I think she's a great cast. But if Tigress has a personality,
no, she doesn't
it wasn't
have this
there.
like big personality, and she's more kind of like the correct moral compass for Snow.
Which is
like-
what she was in the movie.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
would say that she was. Her like role was pretty small, but also it's like
But I just think in comparison to other stylist characters we've had, Tigress was not as interesting to me compared to Cinna or Effie.
Effie's not a stylist.
Oh.
character, though.
Okay.
But no,
But you can't say that they don't look like that. Like, where do you think I'm drawing that comparison?
But no, she's more elegant. Like she's not. Blah, 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 you know?
Right. Okay. And that's literally why I asked you to describe her in any words, and you couldn't give me a single one. So I just.
Because I also haven't read the book for a fucking year and 3 months. I'm sorry that I don't
but
have
I'm
an
just
up-to-date
saying,
track
I just feel
on
like
every single
before I
little
say
thing.
I didn't care for Hunter, and I'm not saying she was a bad. I just was like it was a boring character. I didn't like.
But yeah.
But I was just didn't know how she was because if she has this crazy fun personality in the book, I don't know, because I was like, I was just wish she would have gave a little more something.
Yeah, but you never even saw like a lot of the characters. That's the thing.
That's exactly. Overall, we didn't have enough time to really care about any of the characters besides Snow. I think for me, like Snow was the only one that I actually like cared about a little bit. Like what he's doing and everything. And I did like the friend, the Sejanus. These names: Coriolanus, Sejanus, Suzanne Collins,
Sejanus,
my anus, Lucy Gray. Also, I think just because it is Lucy Gray, like everyone's like Lucy Gray, Lucy Gray, Lucy Gray. I'm like,
her name's Lucy Gray Baird, which I'm like, why can't we just call her Lucy?
Yeah, why does that have to be? I'm Haley Jean, and I'm not making everyone call me Haley Jean every time they refer to me. But again, I realized at first I was like, I think Rachel Zegler might just give me the ick. No. I realized it's just I didn't get enough time to care about Lucy Gray. So I feel like I need to go back and read the book so I can really like get Lucy Gray from Suzanne's mind.
Well, and that's the thing too, is I feel like I've seen every other Hunger Games movie so many times.
Yeah.
And so this I've only seen the once, so I don't know.
But I just feel like it was kind of the same dynamic, which I didn't love in the original, but I understand why, and I think it was done so well in the first original, where you have Katniss, who basically carries Peeta through the games, and in this, it's the similar dynamic where you have Snow kind of carrying Lucy through the games, but at least Peeta was interesting, like in my opinion. Like at least I cared about Peeta. I like wanted Peeta to be carried, and like I think he brought something interesting. The only thing that interesting to me that Lucy brought was the songs and the ties to Katniss. If Lucy had no like, and the fact the only thing I cared about when it came to Lucy Gray was the metaphor of Lucy Gray, what she symbolizes, what she stands for as a character, as a person, as an actress, as the whole, like I did not give a fuck about her. And I could not understand why Snow loved her. I know she was different than everyone else who was used to these rich bitches at his school. Like, I get it. She sang and she didn't care about that. Like, she didn't care. Like, it was just felt like, oh my God. Like, at least Peeta was interesting. Like, I don't know.
See, but I disagree because I am a Peeta hater and I don't think Peeta's very interesting at all.
I don't think Peeta's that interesting either. But I'm saying Peeta's more interesting than Lucy Gray was to me. I cared more about Peeta's character because we got more time to understand his life, his parents, his family. Their love story was more of a slow burn. Like you see Katniss like not like him at first, and the way that they like, I don't know, you know what I mean? It was explored more.
But again, this book is 200 pages
exactly
over their biggest Hunger Games book, and the movie just rushed. Like that's the thing, the movie just so rushed.
So that's what I'm saying. I need to go back and read the book because I feel like I couldn't fully grasp Lucy Gray's character, whereas like I think you can watch the movies and grasp every character.
Yeah, like you can get
from the books, from the original trilogy.
Yeah, you can get enough out of the movies.
So it's like I'm judging it based on the original trilogy and the original trilogy's books, and I think they paced. I don't think Mockingjay needed to be 2 movies, but I think they paced the movies and the characterization from those really well. And for this one, it should have been 2 movies. It should have been a part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, and I think that's like the most common like critique I've seen everyone say ever.
Yeah, it's just
like,
too short.
Like
which is
overall,
a good
everybody
critique.
agrees with that.
That's a good critique. Being like, I wanted more of this.
Yeah,
I needed more of this because I just think I didn't care about, and I'm a character based everything. Reader, like movies, like I need to care about the characters, whether it's good or bad, to care about them becoming a villain, to care about whatever. And I didn't care about Snow's story when I went into this, you know what I mean? Obviously, I care about the Hunger Games and I'm going to read whatever and I want. But like, I was like, why Snow? Like, why couldn't we have gone like Haymitch's story or whatever, you know?
Love my Haymitch.
But going into it, but by the end of it, like, I actually did care. I was like, oh my God, I get why. And like the way it ties in, I love a villain story. I love like a villain origin story. It's so fun.
And it's fun to like.
It's fun to root for the villain for a little bit.
Yeah, and I will say, like, I think that it was done decently well in the movies. Obviously, the books you get a lot more.
But that's what I'm saying. In the movie, they still made me able to care about Snow in that time, but they weren't able to do that with any other character.
What I was saying is that I think that in the movies it was decent, but in the books it's better to kind of be like, oh, I really like Snow and I want to root for him because of this. But then it's like, ooh, but this action's gross. Like, why'd you do this? And it's like the conflicting feelings towards them. Like, I think that it's the whole book. Like, I mean, books are better. Like, we just been new.
Yeah, we've known.
But like, my standout highlight was definitely the host. Was so
Jason
funny.
Mick something. I know. I literally looked it up because I was like, did they just put like? I literally was like,
because he looks so similar to Stanley Tucci.
I was like,
He's not, but they look similar.
No, yeah. I was like, did they put prosthetics on Stanley Tucci? And I looked it up, and I was like, yeah, that casting is. I think Tom Blythe, and people are saying maybe Tom Blythe is too hot. I'm like, guys, why don't you want to look at hot villains? Like, get over it.
Yeah.
He can be hot when he's
Well,
younger.
and I think the thing is like he was up like he was like I've never even heard of him before, but I've heard of like the whole rest of the cast. And so then it's like you threw him in there. I was like nervous. I was like, he's the main
He was
character.
great.
How good is he gonna do?
He was my favorite.
And then
I think
he
casting.
did so well.
Him and Flickerman, yeah. I think those two are I put that in my notes too. Those are my favorite casts. I loved him also in the red outfits. The
Yes.
red outfits, all Snow in his red, like the school outfits, the outfits later on.
The
Like
coloring of the movie was very
Beautiful.
well done too. And like I just like I think of that scene all the time when they're in the arena and they like pull the flag and the flag goes down and then he like drags it and like the way,
Yeah.
like I think like that was really stood out for me.
But yeah, overall, Suzanne Collins is a mastermind. It's such a great series with so many good tiebacks and parallels to real life. Like there was a line in the movie, and I was literally I leaned over to Josh.
Scholastic now.
That's good.
Like they're
classics.
literally, yeah.
I mean, yeah, they should be taught in schools. I think people do read them, like incorporate them in like school reading lists now.
Love Hunger Games.
But yeah, it's great. But yeah, I think it was too short.
My friend, she had this like big critique with like why is it old timey but also future? And it's like Hunter Schafer described it as retrofuturism, but I was like, you have to realize that they just ended the war. They don't have money, like they like whatever and things. Like the capital isn't secure in what it does become in the end. And like that's what I was literally pointing out to even her is like the very last scene when he walks up that fountain, you can see there's like cranes. They're rebuilding the city. Like it's all coming from like the bottom up. So it's like it is interesting to see.
But that also
Panem as that side of Panem where the capital isn't like.
And I think that's intentional.
So powerful. Yeah, and I liked that because it's like
I think that's
you get to
intentional.
see the early days of Panem and how it's like, yeah, the capital, like they're not as strong as we know them to be.
But I think that's also a mirror because you have Snow who has this reputation and facade he's keeping up that he's from this rich family and whatever. But it's BS and he has all this shame and guilt that he needs to keep his family together because his dad died. He has this responsibility. So he works his way up and builds this for himself, and the country's in a much similar state. And so he builds up the country with himself, and that's also why he's so attached to it in the trilogy eventually.
Yep.
Like it's a little because it's like, yeah, he is a poor boy masquerading as a rich man, inheriting a poor city, masquerading as a rich, powerful city that controlling everybody, and he builds it up himself out of spite. It's a crazy, and I love it too because Suzanne Collins really illustrated the fact of how like men will have their heart broken when they're like 15 and like never recover, and will use it as reason to literally become like the ultimate supervillain. Whereas like women get their heart broken every 2 to 3 business days, and we keep it fucking pushing. Yeah.
It's also cool to like I don't know. You should just watch it, but honestly read it.
If they watched all of this, if they just listened to all that, they watched it.
I don't know. I feel like some people maybe didn't.
Either way, yeah, I still think it's worth the time though. Like I mean, I'm definitely gonna go back and read it. Obviously, I wish I would have read it before, but whereas I think like honestly with the original Hunger Games, if you wanted to just like watch the movies, you'll get it. Like it's good enough. Like I get not wanting to go through the books, but I feel like with this,
you should read the book.
If you watch the movie and you're like, I need a little more,
and you'll get a lot more.
Yeah, I feel like the book is the way to go for sure. But that's our Hunger Games review. Yeah, I gave it like 3.75. Nearly 5. You round up to 4. It's feeling crazy.
If you saw my letterbox, any Hunger Games movie ever, I have 5 out of 5 stars on. But realistically, yeah, like it's not a 5-star movie.
Yeah.
Like I would say like Catching Fire is like the only one that's like full 5 stars.
I agree.
But I still rate them all 5 stars.
I know. I see people like ranking them. And they're like Catching Fire, Ballad of Song, and I'm like, y'all are not putting enough respect on the first one. It's Catching Fire, Hunger Games. One. Yep.
And everyone else would say like Ballad. I would say Mockingjay 2, Ballad, then Mockingjay 1.
I agree.
Because I really like Mockingjay Part 2.
Agree.
Like I think Mockingjay Part 2 is like, because Mockingjay Part 1,
does
boring,
she kill Coin?
I get it. In Mockingjay Part 2.
In Mockingjay Part 2, yeah. That's iconic, bitch, when she walks up.
And
that's
that whole
iconic.
oil spill in the house, Finnick's death. Like, Mockingjay Part 2
I agree.
deserves a little more
There's no way Ballad is in my
respect.
top 3. No way.
No.
But
it was still like...
It was good, though.
It was still good.
Love Tom Blythe. I normally cannot simp for blonde men. I'm not a Draco Malfoy girl.
And also with the buzz cut, but when he buzzed cut and he was sitting on the train and his like
all of it
out, like
it was all good.
I was like, oh my god, his eyes are so blue.
For me, it's the red outfit with the white rose, that was beautiful. Yeah, he is beautiful. I normally can't do like blonde, like it's just not my type, blonde men.
Yeah,
but oh my god, yeah. He really, I was like,
and it was cool to see them like portray someone with like they always like are like in all the books they're like olive skin tone. I was like, thank God that she like actually had olive skin tone for once in her life.
Yeah,
because like Katniss was supposed to have olive skin tone.
Really? I don't remember.
Well, and also that's the thing that's weird about the casting is like always where they're like, she's 16, and we're like,
I know. I saw this
she was
review
like
that was like,
25.
honestly, yeah. I saw this review that was like, teenagers that are 20-year-old actors again. We are so back.
Yeah, literally. They always be doing that. Like
that we're always gonna revert back.
yeah, Jennifer
to
Lawrence was 16. Like was supposed to be 16 for Katniss originally.
Oh, was supposed to be.
And I'm like, yeah, girl, you're like 25.
Like Josh Hutcherson could maybe, like in the first movie could like pull off being pretty young, but Gail and Kat, yeah, they both were like looked a lot older than. But that's like every fucking thing. I think Rachel Zegler could pull off. Like she could, yeah. She looks younger. He looked older, but I mean,
sure. Well, and also
I don't give a fuck. I love Man Candy. Even if they're
crazy.
villains, I literally don't give a fuck. I love Man Candy. But yeah, it was good. It was good. Glad I saw it. Love it. I think, and the song Olivia did was really good for the credits. And like now going back and listening to it, like understanding the lyrics, I think it's really, really great. She wrote it? Yeah, I think she did a really good job, like writing from the source.
Interview of her talking about writing it today. Like she saw the movie and then was like, they were like, yeah, like,
oh, perfect.
And she said it was like she was nervous about it because she's always had to, like, she always writes about her own life, but she's like, I had to put myself in Lucy Gray's place and write as if I'm Lucy Gray.
No, she did great though. Also, when you're a good writer, like,
yeah,
you can put yourself in other people's shoes for a bit.
Also, I'm pretty sure,
and you're a Pisces girl, you can empathize.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure even the music in the movie, like a lot of the lyrics were like the same as the ones in the book, which I was expecting them to completely make new songs, but like I like think that like the lyrics in the book, like, you can't take this like whatever were like actually the lyrics in the book. Well, it's like I was a little surprised by
the
that.
Hanging Tree.
Well, that one obviously, but like
what was the Hanging Tree song? Yeah, in the book.
Yeah, and like there's like the ties where she says like necklace of rope, which is true, but then in like the Mockingjay Part 2, Plutarch literally goes like, oh, like I switched that lyric to necklace of hope because like they're doing, and like you see that like,
oh right, yeah,
it was cool though.
So I like, it doesn't surprise me that they were like, okay, well we got to stick with the rest of it. That's what I wish they would have done with Daisy Jones and the motherfucking 6 Amazon Prime. Taylor Jenkins Reid gave us a full on track list, and the song, oh my god, what is it fucking called? There's a song from that book that literally haunts me, and it makes me so mad that they did not put it in the actual. But yeah, they rewrote the whole thing, and the Daisy Jones and the 6 soundtrack is bad, and the music in the show is bad. And now that it's been like a year since it coming out, I can fully just admit that with my whole chest. It's bad. I can't believe some of y'all were actually listening to the Daisy Jones and the 6 album in your free time.
I feel like
it's
bad.
Like
a lot of people doing that, but
it's not good. Just go listen to Fleetwood Mac. But the book is amazing, and I do like the show. I think the acting was good and the casting was good, but why didn't they just use the songs that Taylor Jenkins Reid wrote? I know she's not a songwriter, but those were some damn good fucking lyrics. Anyway. And I love Hunger Games. I hope she writes more. I don't know.
She's not going to, but maybe
probably not.
Maybe in like 20 years.
Is she writing like any other series or anything?
I have no idea.
Yeah, who knows? But Suzanne Collins, thank you so much for giving us such a great like teenage dystopian series.
I'm not going to say she invented the genre, but she invented the genre.
She shaped it in the way that Twilight shaped paranormal romance. Hunger Games shaped like YA dystopians.
Yeah,
100%.
because it's like after like everyone wants to be Hunger Games.
Oh yeah.
Divergent. I'm like, girl, whatever.
We're not even gonna get into. I'm a Divergent. I'm a Divergent apologist. I love Divergent. Divergent gave us the love story we deserved.
The first movie
with 4, and honestly, I love the ending of Divergent. I love that Tris did what Katniss was not allowed to do. Tris sacrificed herself.
Wanted to fucking do it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. I do not like the elite. I do not like the Divergent hate. I literally don't get it. I'm sorry that the movies were bad. Okay, I'm sorry they gave Shailene Woodley that ugly ass fucking bob. But do not come for Veronica Roth because those books are good.
I haven't read the books.
I love 4 as a love interest. He's so much more interesting than Peeta or Gale combined. And also I love that Tris died for her fucking cause. Like that's how a way to end a fucking YA series is to kill off your fucking protagonist. Iconic.
Yeah,
so it's like
iconic.
It came after Hunger Games, and we always got to put Hunger Games as its respectful right place. But like, I'm sick of the Allegia Insurgent Divergent hate, and I will defend it with my life. I loved those books, and I think it was so cool, and I love that it took different routes than Hunger Games did, because I never liked the way Hunger Games ended with Katniss and Peeta specifically.
Yeah, me either. Well, because she should have just ended by herself. Like she should have like literally been like, I'm gonna own Panem.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then she's like,
I have no idea.
Gonna, like live in this tree or this bush.
I mean, I get it though, because after you go through so much trauma and like pain and suffering, it's like I just want to actually be by the bush.
I'm just gonna have this baby with a big forehead.
Period.
Every time I see that baby, I'm like, this is the ugliest baby ever.
But The Hunger Games is great.
I'm pretty
though.
sure that baby in that last movie was like Jennifer Lawrence's like niece.
Aw, that's
And
cute.
I'm literally like, ugly fucking baby.
Yeah, stop.
It's ugly, but also
all babies
all
are
babies
ugly.
are ugly.
Yeah,
literally
let's
every
not.
single baby is
Let's
ugly.
not single out a single baby and call it ugly unless it's the CGI Renesmee from Twilight, because that shit's fucking ugly.
like,
but like all babies are
I need to
a little
watch
ugly. Like,
Twilight.
babies are just not cute, for in my opinion, until they hit like the 1 to 2, like when they become toddlers, and then they're like real cute. But
Yeah.
newborns are like pretty ugly, like all of them, because it's just like they're figuring it out. They're growing. They just hatched. Like what? When a chicken hatches, like a chicken hatching is not fucking cute. It's a baby chick that's cute. You know what I
and,
mean?
Like, little kittens
ever seen
are
a-
kind of cute,
a
but
ki-
still
no,
they're like
a
kinda
cat or a
ugly.
dog when it hatches though,
They're like weird.
they're ugly. They're little, and then like
and
after
then
a
it's
few
like
days,
after like a week,
yeah,
you're like,
yeah, and that's the same with babies. It just takes like a few weeks. Anyway,
for sure.
not to come for Jennifer Lawrence's niece. I'm sure they're cute. I don't remember. I remember they're just being like little white babies, Peeta's kids.
I rewatched
At least it wasn't Renesmee.
Lady Bird, and it
See,
literally,
I still haven't seen it. I need to watch it.
it's on Netflix right now.
Oh.
Everyone run
Okay,
to go watch Lady Bird
I'll
right
watch
now.
it when I get home.
Because I haven't seen it for like since like 2019, and I watched
Yeah.
it and I literally cried the whole entire movie. It's so good.
Okay, I'll
it's
watch it.
so fucking good. Except the only thing is this Timothee Chalamet's character in this movie is so like
I know.
like
is-
you're just literally I'm just like ah!
That is literally why I like haven't watched it yet, because I'm like, I really don't want something to like give me an ick of him.
He will give you an ick, but
I
also it's
love
like I still love
him.
Timmy. Like it's it's
I
just
love
like
him.
his character is so fucking like it's like real though. Like his character, I'm like I knew this man.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Yeah.
I knew this.
I know
man.
it's gonna hit a little too close to home. Yeah, you're gonna know exactly who it is. That is, oh my god, the guy from. Did you watch Stranger Things season whatever?
I
The new.
have retried to watch.
But have you
charge on your phone?
Oh yeah, it's gonna die soon, but the episode's almost over.
I tried to rewatch season 1 of Stranger Things like 4 times and I can never get through it.
Okay,
I
well,
just
there's
can't do little kids as the main characters.
Yeah, that's fair. But there's a guy that works at the pizza place, and he's like a stoner, and he has long, straight, dark hair, and he is literally a guy. Like, he is him. Like, you need to go back and like see. I need to find a compilation of just that guy's scenes, and me and Josh were just like cracking up the entire time watching, because it's like that's him. But anyway,
Everyone, watch Lady Bird and then we can talk about it.
And the Hunger
next time.
Games.
Yeah, but watch Lady Bird and then we'll talk about that the next podcast.
okay, cool. We're gonna do a little like
It's your mother trauma. That's
mother trauma movie. Yeah, I think it's gonna fuck me up. That's
It's
another
like-
reason too why I haven't watched it
So
yet.
mother trauma, like. And Gio liked it, but Gio wasn't like lives were changed, and I was like, no, lives were changed.
I'll have to see for
lives
me.
were fucking changed.
I'll let you know. But anyway, let us know what you want to see from us. We want to do a little like drinking video. I think maybe at your place or something. I don't know, like a drinking game maybe. I don't know. What do you guys want to see?
Yeah, like give us
Cooking
suggestions.
video.
'Cause usually we're just like catching up.
Do you
on
want
our
us to like
life, but I'm like,
cook?
what
Do you want us to do a
do?
fucking dance? I don't know. What do you want? But more episodes coming soon. More
no
vlogs.
strip shows, but
Not
other
over
than
here,
that,
babe.
Let us know.
Not on this site. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. I love you so much.
Wow.
We will see you later. Bye.